Man, what's up? What's happening? You already know who it is and what it is. It's your boy Q Walker. If it's your first time tuning in, this is Beyond the Game. I'm gonna go ahead and let my fellas introduce themselves. Hot dog, go and introduce yourself one time for the one time, man.
You know what it is? It's Monday. It's your favorite day of the week because we are here, we are live. You know what it is.
Man, you already know what it is. And then we got Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott's biggest fan,
Yes,
Ralph
sir.
C. in the building. Go introduce yourself one time, Ralph.
What's up, world? Dak had a bad Sunday, but we
Dak
shall move on.
Prescott
We
is a
shall
dirty
move on.
phrase this week. It is a dirty phrase.
I,
It's a dirty
I
phrase
can't be
this week.
mad at you, hot dog. You a Cowboys
Hey,
fan
man.
for real. So I
We
understand.
we gonna tap into some Dak Prescott and Dallas Cowboys. But first
What's
things
up,
first,
Andrew?
before we get started, y'all haven't seen this, but LeBron and Isaiah Stewart have both been suspended for one game each after their altercation that they had in at the Detroit Pistons game yesterday. So let's talk about that real quick. LeBron James versus Isaiah Stewart. There's a lot going on with this topic, man. A lot of people have had a lot of things to say about this topic. Um, so I'm gonna throw it around the panel real quick. Hot dog. Who was wrong in this situation, and does the one game suspension justify what happened yesterday?
Yeah, I think it does. I'm a known Pistons fan. I wish Isaiah Stewart had got a hold of LeBron, brought him down to earth a little bit. But it is what it is. I think Isaiah. I know people are hating on Isaiah Stewart for running around, acting crazy, running in the tunnel. Because in the Little Caesars Arena, there's a tunnel that goes all the way in the back. He could have easily ran all the way around and came back to the other side where the Lakers were. But I think I mentioned on the post earlier today was he lost a lot. He lost quite a bit of blood. I think at this time he was a little delirious and didn't really know where he was. Like he lost the equilibrium a little bit. I think that had a big thing to do with the way he was acting. So, I mean, I understand Isaiah Stewart was mad. I thought it was kind of a cheap shot by LeBron. But I think I think they're both justified here. LeBron getting one game suspension is Isaiah Stewart for acting a little extra for 2 games.
So who do you think was wrong in that situation, Stewart or LeBron? Was Isaiah Stewart wrong in how he reacted, or was LeBron James wrong for what he did to cause such a reaction from Stewart?
I think they were both wrong, but I think Isaiah Stewart went a little way overboard and reacted way too much. I think after about 2 minutes, it should have been over with, and he should have just let it go. But like I said, I think his equilibrium was off because he took a shot. Because like I said, was he was a bloody mess. So I think they were both wrong, but I think Isaiah was a little more wrong than LeBron.
Yeah. Ralph, what's your thoughts, man, on this whole situation? Who was wrong, and do you think the suspensions were justified by Adam Silver giving both of them one game each?
Oh man, the old me would just say something crazy, but I'm gonna be an analyst here, and I'm gonna be
Okay.
honest about the situation. So I'm gonna say both are wrong. So we first have to start with LeBron James because LeBron James initiated the contact to his face. I believe that LeBron James meant to hit him. He didn't mean to cause the cuts and the blood that happened. So initially, LeBron is wrong. The way that the guy, what's his name, Isaiah Stewart,
Isaiah
uh,
Stewart, yeah.
the way that he reacted initially, as we all have kind of said, if he really wanted to do something at that point when he was right there in LeBron's face, he could have done something. That's what makes kind of everything else that happened afterwards seem kind of just I don't know. Like you said, maybe the blood caused him to go like belligerent. I don't know, but he kind of went crazy for a second.
I just
So
don't think he was in his right mind.
yeah,
But
so
Isaiah Stewart has been in a couple altercations already this season. I don't know if you remember earlier in the year we played Brooklyn, and he shoved Blake Griffin down to the ground very aggressively.
yeah,
And then last year, his rookie year, he got into it. I think it was maybe Draymond Green. I believe he got into it with him as well. So Isaiah Stewart's starting to kind of get a reputation, and not a very good one.
Yeah, so I just feel like all the running around, running through people. If you really wanted to get to LeBron, when you had your chance to get to LeBron, you could have.
Right.
But I do think at that moment when he maybe wanted to get with LeBron, he understood the situation. And if he was to put his hands on LeBron James, the repercussions of that could be him not playing
Could
in
have
the
been
league
blackballed.
Yeah.
anymore at all. So there was a lot that was in play, and it happened so fast.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell a man how to react to being hit in the face like that. He wasn't like he was slapped. Like it's almost like I don't believe LeBron James's elbow hit him. I believe it was his fist that hit him in his face. If you go back and look at the video, so it's hard to tell Stewart how to react to that. There is always a professional way to handle that, but I think things just got out of hand very quickly. But Stewart could have handled it a little bit better. LeBron was wrong. I'm sorry, LeBron fans. He was wrong. He did punch that man in the face. He did intentionally try to hit that man. Whether how he contacted him, no matter what, he still intentionally tried to do it. So they both were wrong. I think the 1-game suspension for both players is justified. I'm almost glad that Stewart didn't hit LeBron because, like I said, if he did, he probably wouldn't be playing in the NBA for a while.
Absolutely.
Man, I'm right there with you. I don't know if y'all watched the game. Hot dog, you probably watched it. Being a Pistons fan, you probably watched it.
I'm more upset at the fact that we didn't hang on and win the game because we literally led the whole game until the end. I'm more upset we
Yeah,
didn't win the game.
the Pistons. For those who didn't watch the game, the Pistons were up 17 in the fourth quarter after this happened, and then
Yep.
they
Anthony
let
Davis went off. Anthony Davis went off.
and Anthony Davis finally stopped playing like a 6'11" two guard and got his tail in the post. And once he got in the post, he
Well,
started making stuff happen.
Yes.
when Stewart got ejected, there was no size.
Yeah.
He's the only guy we have with size.
Yeah,
So
because then
yeah, after that, he took advantage.
they put it.
Also, Isaiah Stewart got 2 games.
Yeah.
No, I thought he only got one.
Nah,
But
he
the
got
alert just
2.
came across my phone. It was
he
he got
2
2.
games.
Yeah.
Okay.
LeBron got
you're
1.
right.
Stewart got 2.
Okay, yeah, you're right. My bad. So he got LeBron got 1 and he got 2. My thoughts on the thing is I think that LeBron. It's hard to say what somebody intentionally done, right? Because we not him, so we don't know for real. So we just going by speculation.
I just based it off. I just kind of based it off the force that he swung his arm back.
So when they were boxing out, I do believe that LeBron was frustrated and he swung his arm in frustration. Now, like I said, I don't think he meant to like hit him with such force that it would like bloody him up and cut him up like that. But I do think it was a little bit of frustration because I mean, let's be honest, the Lakers have been struggling. They were getting beat by the Pistons. I mean, the Pistons aren't exactly contenders in the NBA. So it was like a whole bunch going on at the same time, and I think it was just a frustration type of thing that just happened. Now, LeBron was wrong for that part. Now, Isaiah Stewart was wrong for all the theatrics afterwards because it's crazy because ironically this is Malice in the Palace, right?
Yep.
So let's just think if what would have happened if he did swing at LeBron, like all hell would have broke loose.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And we would have been there. We would have been Malice at the Palace Part 2 again. Now
it would be even worse because we don't like LeBron in Detroit.
No.
The fans just trying to get a piece of him too. I'm telling you.
Hold on real quick. He said he meant to do it. No, I'm saying LeBron meant to do that out of frustration. I don't think he meant to hit him as hard as he did that caused the blood and the cut. But he did mean to hit him out of frustration of what was going on within the game. But yeah, and then during the game, the announcer, the PA came over the intercom system and he was telling people, I can't remember exactly which one it was. He was telling people, please stop throwing things on the court or at the players. I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
They were throwing things on the court or at the players. So it could have escalated and got really, really bad. And I think that's why Isaiah Stewart got 2 games because he kept instigating the situation and making
he made it a lot worse.
What it was, whereas LeBron was off to the side talking to the refs, trying to calm down, trying to calm the situation. And Stewart continuously made the situation a lot worse than what it was.
They almost had him back to the tunnel, and he just did a spin move and start
Mm-hmm.
running back right towards the Lakers. I'm like, come on, man, it's over with. Go back to the locker room.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Beat inner city Detroit traffic and get to the house. You know what I'm saying?
so it caused that, and like you said, it could have went way worse than what it did last night. But
Oh
anyway,
yeah.
we got our fellow members, Daniel and Charles, who just hopped on here. We're talking about LeBron James versus Isaiah Stewart. I don't know if y'all just seen that Isaiah Stewart got 2-game suspension. LeBron James got 1-game suspension for what happened last night. Daniel, I'll throw it over to you first. Who was wrong in this situation, and then was a suspension justified?
I mean, being the player that I am, some guys at BTG that's played with me before know how I am. So LeBron was wrong, but LeBron takes the high road a lot. So he does this often. He usually do a little short elbow to somebody's ribs, midsection area, just to be like, just because I take the high road, don't mean I'm a pushover. But this time he elbowed him in the face. So he elbowed him on purpose. He didn't mean to split him. I don't think either was wrong. I mean, I've been in that situation where I've warned the ref about a player playing reckless lunging, and within a quarter of the game, dude splits me open. I think it's sweat. I'm running on the other end. I realize there's blood running down my face, and needless to say, I can't play there anymore. But anyway, so I think he was wrong. I saw that LeBron got suspended 1 game without pay because he initiated it. Stewart was 2 games without pay for making it bigger than what it was. But LeBron was definitely wrong. If Stewart, like you said, if Stewart would have punched him, which my guy, he had found the post. Stewart grew up boxing. That was his first love before basketball. So I'm sure if he threw a punch, he would have connected, and it would have been Malice in the Palace too.
Oh, absolutely. Because like I was telling you, us Pistons fans, we don't like LeBron. If the fans would have came out there, LeBron would have been toast. I'm telling you right now.
It could have got a whole lot of words. Charles, the elder statesman of the group, man, you've seen a whole lot. You lived through the 80s when stuff like this was just par for the course during the game.
Like the bad boys.
Yeah, they just called a timeout and then they play resume. So on this LeBron versus Isaiah Stewart thing, who do you think was wrong? Were both wrong, and was the suspension justified?
I just think it's pretty much overblown, to be honest with you. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, okay, LeBron hit him and he got split. Okay. I mean, y'all make it, I mean, not you all, but they make it seem like LeBron turned around, looked at the guy, and hit him. I mean, how many times have you seen players shoot free throws and he lived through the 6th?
I mean, we watched Michael Jordan punch Bill Lambert twice. And just get
how many times? I mean, even if you just watch a regular NBA game today, if you forget the NBA game, watch a high school game. You know, when they get in that lane and box out, they're moving their arms, they're doing everything. I mean, that's just the way that it is. And so, we've seen. If we look today and we look through the NBA and we look at all the flagrant twos that we've seen, the craziest stuff. We've seen people get, ejected from games and stuff like that. But other than, the Denver game, with Morris and what's his name?
Jokic.
Where are we getting these suspensions from? I mean, now that situation I thought was extreme because, first of all, Stewart, listen, if you wanted to hit that man was standing right there in front of your face, right when it happened. If you wanted to split him, you could have split him right then and there. All of a sudden, now everybody's ran on the court, they holding you back. Oh, no, let me go. You run around looking like a damn wild animal, people trying to get you down. And then you go run in the back like you going to run around the side. Come on, man. He ain't. I mean, he may have been a boxer, but if he was truly about that life, he would have squared LeBron up right then and there. If he was really about that life. That's how I feel about it. I think it's being overblown. I think it's ridiculous that LeBron got suspended a game. I think because Stewart, escalated it the way that he did, yeah, he should get, because he could have sparked a whole nother issue. We could have had the Brawl in Palace Part 2 or the Brawl in Little Caesars Part 2, right? So I think that was just extra, but I just think it's because I'm going to leave it at this. the game has gotten so soft that it's just it's getting to a point of being ridiculous. So
I agree with that. I
Imagine
also
getting
think
a 2-game suspension for a tantrum. Basically, that's what he got suspended for.
that's pretty much what he got suspended for, D. You're absolutely right. He got suspended for having a tantrum. And I also think Stewart didn't throw a punch at him because I think he knew in that second it's LeBron James. It's not like you're about to punch anybody, like just anybody.
That's what I
You're about
said
to punch
earlier.
you're about to punch
He had
the
too much to
guy.
lose.
You could have really got hurt. You could have really hurt yourself.
But hot dog, I mean, if that's the okay, if we're gonna go into that thought process, then my thing is, well, what was all the theatrics for? You knew once you realized.
I think I said it earlier. I think me and D were talking about post earlier. I think where he lost a lot of blood. I really think he wasn't thinking straight. I really think that equilibrium was messing with him. I don't think he's thinking straight. That's just my personal opinion.
I mean, it could be true.
This is my thing. He pushed LeBron. He started saying what he had to say. LeBron was saying whatever he had to say.
Apologizing.
Who knows if they leave that alone, who knows if that escalates? It probably don't. But when I'm in the heat of the moment and I'm trying to have a one-on-one with somebody and you grab me and don't let me finish, that makes me hotter, and I think that's what happened with him.
I mean, he could have pushed him. He could have did anything. He didn't do nothing. He
did push him. He said something to him, then he pushed him and walked to his face, and him and LeBron had words, and then they grabbed him immediately.
Yeah. I just think it's overblown. I think it's ridiculous that these people are losing salaries now. I think
That's crazy.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I really think that other than the fact that, the dude was split open on a basketball court and that you had the brawl in Palace years and years ago, it didn't even deserve that much attention.
What's LeBron get? 500,000 a game?
I think it's because of that, Charles. Before we go to the next topic, is because they was like, okay, we got to set an example. Like D and Hot Dog said, he basically Isaiah Stewart really he didn't do anything. He didn't swing at nobody. He didn't really push nobody for real. He was just running around the court, making a show, and he got suspended 2 games for putting on a reckless show.
For throwing a tantrum. Like D said.
So I don't think any of them boys wanted any of them dogs over there on the Lakers side. I don't think they want a piece of none of them.
Yeah, right.
Y'all heard what Melo said.
Listen, man, Russell Westbrook took that.
Hey, Hot Dog, don't be fooled. He may be a terrible player, but I'm gonna go to war with that dude. That dude come over here with me.
Russell Westbrook's fighting stance looks like the Notre Dame Fighting Irish mascot.
Yeah, I gotta. Westbrook got a lot of energy, so one thing I can say is he probably won't get tired, but I gotta see him throw some hands. I'm not giving him a benefit of the doubt. Outside of being from Compton, LA area, I think that's like saying
the Melo's the only person I believe in on that
from California.
The only one on the Lakers I'd be afraid of is Rajon Rondo. No. That's it. Nobody else.
Melo, man.
Melo don't play no game.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Rondo about that life, man.
Yeah, Rondo for sure.
I agree with you. I agree with Rondo.
And here's the other thing that y'all forgetting about. They got security too. They would have hit Bron. That security would have came straight on up out there.
It's probably some people in the audience that are waiting for something to pop off. LeBron got goons out there. Don't worry about that.
Man, listen, I'm with y'all before we go to the next topic. I'm with y'all. I think the only people that really would have done something is Rondo. And Rondo got a track record. I mean, as Chris Paul. So Rondo's with himself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Melo, I believe Melo, if push comes to shove, I do believe Melo would have been out there and it'd been whatever, man. But anyways, moving on to a little NFL talk. We got Ralph and Hot Dog's Dallas Cowboys, who took a big L yesterday.
This guy's crazy, man.
Pat Mahomes last night. Well, yesterday
he said a big loss too.
Big, only because the Cowboys, they really didn't put up much of a fight. But anyways, are the Cowboys back to being the Cowboys, or have they been exposed? Hot Dog, I'm gonna let you cook on this last. Be legend. Have the Cowboys been exposed?
Oh, you asking me?
Yes, sir.
They trash.
This guy.
Oh, they trash.
Man, mute his mic, please, for the love of God.
They're not trash. They're not trash. I mean, they're still going to win the NFC East. But I'm gonna say it, and listen, I'm being real serious about this. Listen, man, we told you, Ralph. We sat here and told you that man is not worth $75 million. We told you that, and I know.
Where are y'all getting $75 million from? Where is that coming from?
Because that's
his salary for this season. That's his salary.
Just this season.
I don't understand.
Because of the type of contract that he signed, he's getting a lump sum money right now.
Up front, it's cheap on the back end.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so he's getting $75 million. So I'm saying, listen, a dude like that, he's got to show up in that. He's got all the pressure on him and everything. And he didn't show up. He just didn't show. They are not as good as everybody thinks that they are. They're just not. And in the big games, as we go through this, even though, let me start, Ralph. Yes, Aaron Rodgers lost. That's fine. But Green Bay, who else we got out there? You got the Rams. We got Tampa Bay. I mean, just them three. Just them three by themselves is going to be a problem. I don't think Dallas can beat either three of them teams. I don't even see it.
We get another team. He's kind of hurt right now.
I didn't even talk about Arizona.
That's what I was going to say. Arizona.
I didn't talk about that.
Cowboys been looking good.
That they can't beat either one of those things. But in their defense as well, right? They're hurt. I mean, they got a lot of injuries. They got a lot of things that are going on. So I think a combination of things, man. I don't know why you even expected them to go in the Arrowhead and win that game. It's just making that because that guy Dak is not going to help them win that game. It's going to be defense and other. Dak is not going to be the one.
I'll just say something real quick.
Go ahead, Doc.
You need to give up your fathership of Pat Mahomes to Micah Parsons because that was the only dude on the Cowboys that showed up yesterday. The only guy.
Thank you, Hot Dog. Thank you. It wasn't just Dak, right?
Go ahead, Ralph.
I'm gonna let everybody else go. I'm gonna say my piece last. I'm sorry, letting keep going.
I ain't gonna say they trash.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ralph. Look,
it's my turn. It's my turn.
Had the Cowboys been exposed?
The buffoonery that you just now said, man, just kind of blows my mind. It blows my mind how we just all of a sudden forget your boy, your son, Patty Mayonnaise. Oh, I guess he's been having I guess he's been having an MVP season. So and even in yesterday's game, how many touchdowns did he have? 0. But we'll leave it at that because it ain't about Pat Mahomes. It's not about the Chiefs. It's about the Cowboys. That's the question that you asked. So I'm gonna answer the question about.
But the Chiefs won though, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But Pat Mahomes didn't really do much to help the situation. He threw an interception too, but we'll leave that because we that don't matter. That don't matter. It's Pat Mahomes. He can play shitty all season long. Right. He can have a few good games, and he's still an MVP caliber quarterback. It blows my mind.
But Dak's not an MVP caliber quarterback at all.
But back to the subject at hand. The Cowboys played bad yesterday. I'm glad Hot Dog brought it up. It was not just Dak Prescott. It was the team as a whole. The receivers were dropping balls. The defense didn't play up to par outside of Micah Parsons. So, and Amari Cooper was out, which would be the number one receiver. Dak didn't play well, but is it over for the Cowboys? Have people figured out the Cowboys? Hell no. It was one game. One game. I'm not tripping off one game. I'm still riding with Dakota to the end. He did not play well, so there's not much I can say good about his performance from yesterday, and I won't say anything good. He played like trash, and that's what it was. But have people figured out the Cowboys? No. Are the Cowboys okay? Yes.
Give them a grade. How did they do?
F.
Okay.
Dak Prescott, give him a grade. Ralph?
F.
Okay. All right. Daniel, what's up, man? Did the Cowboys get exposed yesterday? Did Patty Mayonnaise expose the Dallas Cowboys?
I say yes, they got exposed, but for a different reason. When the Cowboys don't run the ball at least 25 times, they're not going to beat you. You can't run the ball 14 times. I disagree with the take that the defense didn't play good. Defense played great. They only scored 19 points. Patrick Mahomes had no touchdowns. They didn't defend the run game that well, but they ran about 30 times, so you should get over 100 yards if you run 30 times. The defense was a J-Ron Curse out of interceptions. The Cowboys defense had 3 sacks.
And we forced a fumble.
Forced a fumble and had like 5 tackles for loss. It's hard to keep.
Yeah.
I mean, for them to only give up 19 points when Dak Prescott had 3 touchdowns, almost 4. The defense played good. The offense played horrible. I saw about 3, maybe 4 drops. Dak was holding the ball too long. He couldn't get away from no pass rushes. I don't know what that ankle injury did, but he looks like he runs about a 5 flat now. So to me,
it's bad.
It's bad exposed. If you stop that run, he can't beat you. They didn't have Cooper. I still don't think they would have won. They might have scored another 3 points.
And we lost Lamb early on. That hurt too.
Yeah. I don't know why he threw that pass like that. Lamb had no chance of catching that.
And another thing I forgot to bring up is just the fact that Kansas City changed the game up too, because Kansas City don't normally run the ball like that. See, Ralph, that's
the Chiefs are ready. They got Edwards-Helaire back too.
Yeah, and they don't normally run the ball like that. So if you look at them, they're probably 80-85% pass and 15%. In that game, it was completely opposite. So that had something to do with the fact that he probably didn't throw any touchdowns either. But it doesn't matter.
Once they saw Darrell Williams ball without Clyde Edwards, they was like, when Edwards-Helaire comes back, now we can just pound it.
Yeah, that's all.
The Cowboys is back to being the Cowboys, man. I don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all talking
about
Cowboys is back to being the Cowboys. Cowboys back to doing Cowboys thing. Hot dog, the floor is yours. I was a Cowboy fan. What your thoughts, man? Did they get exposed yesterday?
First of all, I want to appreciate the hard effort of the Cowboys defense going on the road to Arrowhead, only giving 19 points to Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and Kyle Edwards-Helaire, and playing as well as they did. I have no problem with the defense. Dak Prescott.
This guy.
This is on you.
He had a 10 QBR. 10.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for proving my point. This was one loss, but I will put on Dak. I understand we had injuries. So Mark Cooper was out as of Friday. That hurts the game plan. Up till Friday, he was supposed to play. Lamb got hurt. Yeah, and I think Lamb will be out on Thanksgiving. We'll get him back for the Saints game the Thursday after. But I said going into this game, it was going to be hard to beat the Chiefs because we're missing our 3 best pass rushers, DeMarcus Lawrence, Neville Gallimore, and Randy Gregory. If you can't rush Patrick Mahomes, you're going to have a long day. And they still got a pretty consistent pass rush, in my opinion. So this loss is on the offense. And it's like Daniel said, if you don't run the ball 20, 25 times, there's no excuse you can't give Tony Pollard 13 carries. There's no excuse you can't give Ezekiel Elliott 15 to 20 carries. This game should not be in Dak's hands. This game should be in the running game's hands. You drafted this offensive line the way you did for a reason. And they even made a change. They even took out Connor Williams, who's been the weak link of this offensive line, and put in Connor McGovern, and that didn't work. The reason offensive line is struggling right now because Tyron Smith, who has been the best offensive lineman for the last 10 years in the Cowboys, is not back yet. But yes, as like I said, it's on Dak and Kellen Moore. Those are the 2 biggest guys out there. And something else, I've had this question a long time to myself. Could Michael Gallup go somewhere else to be the number 1 guy?
No.
No, absolutely not. What did Chris Jones talk about? They beat the Jaguars yesterday. He got his chest puffed out. Stop this.
Hey,
Thank you, Chris Jones. Appreciate it, Chris Jones.
Look, man.
Q,
don't do this, Ralph.
Back up.
Thank you.
Bro, he's surrounded with talent, bro. Come on.
No,
I'm not.
Stop. Seriously.
I just went with the part where he's carrying the franchise.
How though?
Chris Jones said Cowboys, they thought they were. Dak needs help. He's carrying the franchise on his
back. I'm sorry, but you still got Zeke, Tony Pollard, Dalton Schultz, Cedric Wilson, and Michael Gallup out there. You should be put up more than 9 points a game.
Wait a minute.
Thank you, Andrew. That comment right there is everything. Thank you.
Andrew said Tyron Smith has proven to be one of the most valuable left tackle in the leagues for years. He says the Cowboys fall apart when he's out.
But see,
he's right.
Q, here's the issue that I have, and this is why you get all the flack that you get. I'm gonna remove you from this, hot dog. the reason why you get all the flack that you get from these Cowboy fans, how can you make the statement that the Cowboys don't have talent? That's got to be the most asinine statement. It makes. And then you, Ralph, agree with that.
Nah, I just needed somebody to have my back, man. That's the only reason I said that, man.
That just makes no sense. They don't have any talent. Come on, guys.
Man, Jones is crazy.
In my opinion, from top to bottom, the Cowboys are the most talented team in the NFL. From top to bottom.
I give them top 5.
They top 5 for sure.
Yeah, I was about to say top 5. Yeah,
top
It
5.
might be right.
The Bucks are better.
I think the Rams are better.
Honestly, I think the Rams might
I was
be.
gonna say honestly, I would give the nod to the
Maybe
Rams.
not. Yeah, well, we did get Skip Von Miller.
that's
It's trash. They don't have a coach or a quarterback, but from top to bottom, the Giants have a lot of talent. They just.
I've been saying that too. They just don't have a quarterback. The Giants went out and had Skip
Don't
Von
say that tonight, Daniel. Leave that comment for next week, Daniel. Leave that comment for next week, bro. Not tonight.
What you say? The Giants? What you say? Hey, are the Giants gonna win tonight, Daniel? Are the Giants gonna win tonight?
The
They're
Bucks
gonna
is
be
gonna be on
upset.
a 3-game skid.
The Giants are going to cover for me. They're not going to win the game.
Hey, I just have a question real quick. Oh, wait a minute, hang on. I gotta ask one question before we go on to the next set. Why is everybody be dogging my Cowboys all day for taking a loss? But is nobody going to talk about what the Buffalo Bills is doing right now?
Well, I've made a post about it.
Is nobody going to talk about that?
Terrible. They trash. Terrible.
They let Jonathan Williams look like Marshall Faulk out there yesterday.
Their defense plays
Nobody going to talk about the Bills?
per game. I don't know why. Like every 3 games, the defense
Well,
just goes to sleep.
I'm pretty sure they're 6-4 now. The Bills are 6-4 now. I'm sorry, 7.
Yep. They tied with the
Hey, let me ask that question. When we went back, this is probably about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, we had that conversation about top quarterbacks in the league. So are we still saying that man in Buffalo is the top quarterback in the league?
Definitely.
Andrew said, "Let's talk about Josh Allen." He's
Is that what we're trying to say? Is he still the best quarterback in the league?
Andrew, do we want to go back to last Monday night?
That's what I was about to say.
Andrew said that hypocrisy in the group all year saying,
Lamar, nah, anybody listen to him.
Josh Allen's still better than
Yeah,
Lamar
we're not
Jackson.
talking. You heard what he said. We ain't talking about Lamar. Let it go.
No, we ain't talking about Lamar. I'm just asking, why is nobody talking about the Bills taking that horrible loss to the Colts? What was it last week? They lost to the Jaguars. Why are we not talking about that? But everyone wants to talk about my Cowboys though.
because I don't think a lot of people have a lot of faith in the Bills as far as Super Bowl contenders. So when they lose games like that, it's like, okay, it's what
the Bills.
Yeah, so I don't think a lot of people really have a lot of stock in them as far as making it to the Super Bowl. So it's like, all right, okay.
It makes it worse for y'all because y'all just got blown out by the Broncos.
Well, that was trash. I agree with you on that. And one more thing, and then I'm done. And one more thing, why? And we're not going to talk about.
Lamar Jackson is the best.
And we're not going to talk about the Packers losing to Kirk Cousins yesterday.
Terrible.
Nobody want to talk about that. Cooper Rush will be still on the road.
But I can say this though, hot dog. They lost, and I ain't really surprised that they lost. But what I will say is, Aaron Rodgers had a higher QBR than 10.
Definitely.
Well, I
love that. He can have a 200 QBR in an L next to.
So hold on. This is Andrew. This is addressed to you, Daniel. He said, "Or should we go back to when you called the coach trash when Lamar diced them up, Smith Mello? That's for you."
If you want me to go back when Lamar diced them up and the coach had given up at least 4 more passing touchdowns than everybody in the league, we can. That's a fact.
There it is. So we entering week 11 of the NFL season, and we got a couple of teams who are right on the outside of the NFL playoff bubble as we come down the home stretch. So with the teams look on the outside looking in, hot dog, I'm gonna throw this over to you first. Who do you see making a potential push to get in the playoffs who's not in the playoff picture right now? I'm gonna give you some teams, right? Hold on, I'm gonna give you. So these are the 7 teams in the AFC who, if the playoffs ended, if the season started today, they would be in the playoffs. Titans at 1, Ravens 2, Pats 3, Chiefs, Bengals, Chargers, and Bills. These are the teams on the outside looking in. Steelers, Colts, Browns, Raiders, Broncos.
Oh, that's easy, Colts. That's easy, Colts. I think they're finally getting a run with Carson Wentz and Jonathan Taylor finding his groove. I think the Colts end up winning this division and they get into playoffs.
So who
That's
who
my
would they
pick for the NFC.
whose place would they take though? Would they take the Bengals, Chargers, Bills? Because those are the 5, 6, 7 seeds. So who are they taking? Whose spot are they taking?
I believe they'll take the Bills spot.
So you
I
got
think it's going to come down to the end between the Bills. I think it's going to come down to the end. I think it's going to be the Bills and the Chargers and that last part of the wild card. And I think the Bills. I think the Bills get out of it.
Ooh, you got the Bills going all the way out the playoffs. That's rough. Ralph, you need me to repeat those teams for you?
Yeah, just repeat the teams that are out right now.
Okay, the teams on the outside looking in on the AFC is Steelers at 8, Colts at 9, Browns at 10, Raiders at 11, and Broncos at 12.
Okay. So I'm going to agree with Hot Dog and go with the Colts. I personally think I don't know if it's the Bills spot that they would take, but yeah, maybe the Bengals. I do personally think that the Patriots are en route to win the AFC East. I think that I have faith in the Bills early in the season, but the Bills, they just like Daniel kind of said with the Cowboys. One of the main things, this is with any team. If you don't run the ball, you're not going to be successful. You cannot depend on the Bills. And that's just what it is. So each team needs to run the ball more. So for me, I think the Patriots are my sleeper team right now in the AFC. But for this question, I'm going to have to go with the Colts in the AFC. In the NFC, I'm going with the Vikings, man.
So I'm gonna get to the NFC in a second. Ike, he made a comment. He said definitely the Colts. I think they take the Bengals spot. I think so too. I think the Bengals will slide on the last 5 games of the season, and the Colts will actually move up. I just need the Colts to make sure they lose next Sunday when they play Tampa Bay in Indy. As long as they do that, I'm cool with whatever they do.
Y'all gonna need that win because y'all gonna be on a 3-game skid, so y'all need that win.
First of all, no, we're not because we winning tonight against the Giants, but we're not gonna talk about that right now.
Okay.
As we got my girl Tasha. What's happening, Tasha? She just hopped on the show real quick. How you doing, baby girl? Doing all right?
What's up, Tasha?
Daniel, who you got making that playoff push?
Wait, shout out to the Greensburg. Huge win for the Texans yesterday over the Titans. Huge win.
I did not see that.
I'm not happy about it. Ruined the picture for me. But I'm going with the Colts too. I like Jonathan Taylor. I'm actually mad. If we had been 1 pick earlier, we would have drafted him. We got Cam Akers. He started to look good, but we're not gonna get off on that tangent. I'm going with the Colts. The Bengals or the Chargers, I think they're still too young and too inexperienced. I think they'll continue to win a game here or win 2 games, lose 1. I think that'll make one of those teams fall out. Honestly,
I like Justin Herbert last night.
Any 3 teams but the Bills. I got the Bills finishing 11-6. I got the Patriots finishing at 11-6 too. I think 11 wins gets you in the playoffs though, so I'm sticking with the Bills in.
Yep.
So you got the Bills in, the Colts in, and the Bengals out.
Yeah, Bengals or the Chargers.
Bengals or the Chargers. Okay. Charles, who you got making that late playoff push on the outside looking in to steal one of those spots?
Well, it's definitely the Colts. I mean, that's kind of a common thing. I mean, they got the groove back into playing. On the out though, I mean, you got to look at. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to look at Cincinnati. I don't have any faith at all in Cincinnati. I don't think they can win the big game. I think they're still too young, as D said. I don't see that happening.
Hey Charles, what did Danny Green say? They are who we thought they were.
Oh yeah, but I will say this though. But I will say this though. I mean, you got a lot going on down there in the AFC, man. I mean, you've got even though you don't have confidence in them, you got Pittsburgh sitting down there. You got Cleveland sitting down there. You got some teams out there that could potentially. And Cleveland's always dangerous because they can run the football and they can run.
They get Hunt back.
Yeah. But they got Baker Mayfield as quarterback. That's why I don't believe in
that's the problem, right? Yeah. I mean, that's the problem. But they are a run team, and if their defense plays halfway decent, I mean, they could cause you all kind of problems, right? So, you got that out there. You got Pittsburgh out there. But other than that, I don't see anything else. I don't think Buffalo falls out. I mean, let's not get it twisted. Buffalo will be there, and they will be in the playoffs. There's no question to that. It's just, in the Chargers, I think,
if the Bengals and the Chargers finish with the same record, the Bengals will get in the playoffs because they have a higher win percentage versus common opponents. So,
yeah. But I just think you got to watch. At the end of the day, I mean, I think you got to watch Pittsburgh. And you got to watch Cleveland. I mean, because Cleveland, even though they got a 6-5 record too, but they're at the bottom of the division. So it's just going to really depend on how that plays out as they move forward. Baltimore is so shaky, man. You don't know what you're going to get out of them when they give it back. I mean, sometimes they go win, sometimes they don't, but they'll make the playoffs. But I just think Indy's going to make it. And if I had to put my money on it, I'm going to say the Bengals fall out.
So I'm looking at the standings right now, and in the win-loss column, there's one loss separates 1 through 7. Right, the Titans are 8-3, the Ravens are 7-3, the Pats are 7-4, right there with the Chiefs 7-4. Bengals, Chargers, and Bills all tied at 6-4. So I mean that AFC
crazy, man.
And then you got the Steelers at 5-4-1, and the Colts and Browns both at 6-5. So
right there.
And guess what? Denver even had a chance.
Absolutely.
And that's just a fact.
I'm not gonna go that far.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna go that far.
Just saying.
But I'm not gonna be.
They're only a win out.
Yeah.
It's the Broncos and it's Ralph's team, so they're not gonna win.
I know.
They ain't gonna win.
But you know what though? It's unbelievable that the New England Patriots are leading the division.
They're tough.
We gonna talk about little Mac Jones here in a little bit. Let's go to the NFC.
Man, don't put Chris Jones comments up no more.
Yeah, man, I'm a legend on that one.
Hey, the NFC,
thank you, legend.
Looking in, we have the 49ers at 8, the Eagles at 9, Panthers at 10, Washington at 11, and the Falcons at 12. If y'all want a list of who's already in, well, not in, but if the season was to end today, the playoffs would be Cardinals, Packers, Cowboys, Rams, Bucks, Vikings, and Saints.
So Vikings are already in. Okay.
Yeah, they're already in.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna throw it over to you first. Who do you see in the NFC if you see anybody making a late push to get into the playoffs?
I'm gonna need you to flag Chris Jones' comments after I say what I have to say.
Say it.
I got the 49ers getting in over the Saints. I looked at the 49ers schedule. It's very weak. Very weak. And the Saints are falling apart. I got the 49ers getting in over the Saints.
The Saints just beat the Bucks. How they falling apart?
They lost 2 straight after that, though. The kicker tricked the game before. He missed the field goal on 2 extra points versus the Titans.
Okay.
This guy.
I believe the same thing. Titans they riding a high right now. Fake high.
They're falling apart right now. All right.
Look at it. Let's go, hot dog. You made Chris Jones' day, man. Made his day.
Well, what about you, Ralph,
I guess you. I guess. All right, Ralph. What's your prediction?
I was going with the Vikings, but the Vikings seem to already be in. So
okay.
I'm just gonna pick. I'm gonna pick with my heart on this one,
Ralph.
just because I want to see Kim do it.
You having some technical difficulties, Q.
It's back again.
Yep.
It's back again.
The 49ers and Washington.
Oh my goodness, it's back again. They got him.
That's true, Tosh.
If Jameis Winston was still in, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But Jameis Winston's done for the year.
Yeah,
so I don't believe the Saints will hang on. So I believe the 49ers that week schedule into the year makes a push and gets in over in their spot.
But 49ers, I mean, I don't know, man. 49ers got tough. I mean, they got Seattle, they got the Vikings, the Bengals. I ain't worried about Falcons. No, the Titans just don't know what's going on there.
Seattle looks horrible right now.
Yeah. Seattle has nothing to offer.
Seattle's done. They've been
They're
done.
Well,
done.
yeah,
They're
actually they do. They got something to offer. Russ will be in Philly.
Yeah, you're right.
How you
You're
like
right.
Philly will beat them. I hate to say it, but Philly will
Yeah,
beat them.
they will absolutely.
Yeah.
Right
Russ-
now, Seattle looks like a train wreck.
Hey Drew, you like that? You like Russ and Philly? You like that?
I like Russ in Denver.
I don't like that. I don't
Russ
like
in Philly.
that.
He ain't going no Philly. I'm just talking crazy. He ain't going no Philly. He
Okay.
gonna
Oh, we got two Qs on there?
Two Qs.
he gonna go somewhere.
Yeah,
He ain't gonna, hey,
two
look,
Qs.
hey
I'm
D,
back
I
up
guarantee
in
you Russ won't be
So
he ain't gonna be in
anyways,
Seattle
man.
next year.
Nah,
No.
Definitely not. If he's
That ain't
smart.
Ralph, who did you pick? Did you say Carolina?
that's why I was riding with. Just because
I-
I'm sticking with
Cam
my heart,
Newton.
I'm gonna ride with Carolina just because I want to see Cam do it, man. And Cam played
Yeah,
well
he looked
yesterday.
He didn't play bad.
He played bad.
Did they win
He
yesterday?
did.
Did they win yesterday?
No, they lost, but he played
lost.
well.
Okay, hold up. All I know is the Panthers went 0-4 against the NFC East this year. 0-4.
Well, here's the problem with the Panthers, right? So they play the Dolphins, that's a winnable game.
Yeah.
They play the Falcons, that's a winnable game.
Who we talking about?
The Carolina.
The
Okay,
Panthers,
perfect. Yeah.
So now you go Buffalo.
Yeah.
In Buffalo, they should lose that game.
No.
Right.
Then they
Yeah.
play the Bucks.
They should.
They lose that game. Then they play the Saints. I don't know what's going. They play them in New Orleans, and then they come back and play the Bucks again.
I'm gonna call it L.
Yeah. So I don't. I would
Okay.
love to see Cam make it, but I just don't. With them losing that game yesterday,
Yeah.
I think that's
that was a tough loss, man. It was tough. He played.
That was a
good,
bad
man.
loss.
He played well,
That
man.
was a tough
Their
loss.
defense only plays good against weak teams.
Yep, that's true.
So
Man, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
No.
Man,
See,
I
who
got
did you
this
say?
damn
Did you
hamster
say-
on this?
No,
I got this damn
I
hamster on this wheel again.
NFC, right? With the NFC,
You know, Andrew wants somebody to pick the Eagles, so somebody.
you
do
know
it.
what? I'm in a tie. I can't pick between Philly or the 49ers. I think the way that the 49ers are running the ball since they played us, they just mixed it up, throwing Debo in the backfield, which he weighs about 215. That's pretty dynamic. But I think if anybody can stop the run, I don't believe in Jimmy G to beat teams. They do have a weak schedule. Philly's finally realized what me and Drew have been saying all year: run the ball. Now I think the last 5 weeks they've ran the ball more than anybody in the league, and they've won 3 out of 4, I think, or 2 out of the last 3, one or the other. But
I know they won. I know they've won 2 in a row.
2 in a row for sure. Yeah, I think they won 3 out of 4. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna
they won
go
3 out
with
of 4.
Philly because Philly can put up more points than the 49ers. I hate to say it
I can't
because
be wrong. I can't be wrong.
Andrew's eyebrows could be
Oh,
down if they don't.
Lord.
But, you know.
Didn't I tell
What?
you?
Hold up.
I told you don't put this boy comments up.
Hey, wait a minute. I just got to say one thing. What do y'all going to say? What do y'all going to say when the NFC East puts 2 teams in the playoffs?
But you know the
2
thing,
teams in the
I
playoffs.
I don't talk bad about the NFC East. It's them. I ain't saying y'all the best conference, but hey, I don't have nothing.
I don't
to say
see.
about
I
the
don't see
NFC
it, hot
East.
dog. I don't see it.
I
I
see
thought the
Philly
Eagles
winning
already
at least
said
9 games. Easy, at least 9.
I can see the Eagles making a run and getting in. The 49ers is my pick.
So
I
let's
just,
I
think about it.
I just want Cam to make it.
So let's
I don't know
talk
if 9
about
wins
it.
I
this
trust-
year, though.
Let's talk about it for a second.
I trust Shanahan over. What's that guy's name in Philly? Sirianni,
Sirianni.
Sriracha sauce. What's his name?
Sirianni.
Sirianni. I don't trust that guy. I definitely trust Shanahan over that guy.
So let's talk about it for a second. So the Eagles play the Giants. Then
That's a
they
50-50
Twice.
game.
then they play the Jets.
Mhm.
Right.
That's a win.
All right. So then they play Washington.
50-50 game.
Twice.
Back to the Giants.
They'll win
They
at
is
home.
silly. They
They'll
is
win at home.
50-50
versus the
game.
Giants.
And then they play Washington again.
They're gonna split with both of them to me, in my
And then they're
opinion.
gonna play the East. And then they're gonna play the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That's
I think they're going to beat. No, I think they'll beat us in Philly. I think they will.
Not if y'all run the ball.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
We
I
ain't
don't
going
see.
to, D, because that's the smart thing to do. We don't do the smart thing, D. We do the stupid thing.
Well, I mean, hot dog. You got a
True.
leader. If that guy that's carrying the team, he
Oh
can
my
audible and do whatever he needs to do,
god.
right?
Yeah.
There we
Man,
go.
I'm sick and tired of this team, man. I'm sick and tired of my team. I
I'm
hate
just
them.
There we
I'm
saying.
sick and
go.
tired of them.
Hey, we can.
So
Hey, look. He's got the ability to audible out of those plays and run the football. He's such a leader. He's
Dak,
$75 million a year. So I
All right.
mean,
Enjoy it while he's down. There was
be the
one game.
leader.
real,
Be
There
the
real
was
quick,
one
leader.
game.
who did everybody have on the outside looking in before my hamster started messing up on his wheel for the internet? Who did
I
everybody have?
San
I
Fran.
had the 49ers. I had the 49ers going in over the Saints.
What about you, Ralph?
I had the Panthers, man.
You had the Panthers over who?
Probably like the Vikings.
Who?
You had the Vikings in a minute ago. Now you got them going out.
Just to go with my pick, man. I don't really think the Panthers will make it. I just want to see Cam do it.
Okay, that's fair. You picking with your heart. I got you. Then B Legend, he had the 49ers. Daniel, who did you have?
You know what? I had 50-50 between Philly and the 49ers over the Saints, but the Eagles have already played 11 games, so they only have 6 games left. I think it's a high possibility they finish 3-3, which would only give them 8 wins. I think the 49ers will finish with 9, so I think they'll get in. So I'm going to go with the 49ers.
Man, don't y'all do this, bro. Y'all giving Chris Jones too much
I
ammunition,
mean, it's either
man.
that or you got to listen to Andrew Morel.
Listen.
I mean,
I told you to flag Chris Jones' comments, and you froze up.
Hey, what'd you say, Daniel? It's the lesser of two evils.
yeah, you either that or you got to listen to Andrew Morel think that Jalen Hurts is Michael Vick 2.0 or something,
I mean, yeah. I mean, you gonna get crazy comments either way. I mean, it don't matter.
Either way it goes. Hey,
Either
man,
way it goes, you're screwed.
speaking of crazy comments, Daniel, who do you have? Which teams, which players should be on upset alert this upcoming week, man? The floor is yours.
Now, I know we don't have, my results from last week, but I did pretty damn good. I went 6-2. This week, there's a lot of upset possibilities. In the NFL, I don't know if it'll happen because I do not trust the Lions, but the Bears can't score. So I'm going with I'm personally not betting on this, but I'm going with the Lions to upset the Bears. Of course, I'm going with my Rams. Odell been with us for about 2.5 weeks. He should know at least 60% of the playbook. I'm going with the Rams over the Packers. I also like Jonathan Taylor. The Bucks are a little bit banged up in the secondary. I
Talk
might
about
go
it.
with the Colts over the
Talk about
Bucks.
Talk about it.
Now we're gonna go over here
Go.
to college football. San Diego State's ranked number 19. I like Boise State to upset them. I don't really believe in this. It's a possibility. East Carolina to beat Cincinnati, but just like last week when I said I didn't believe in it and they blew SMU out, I don't expect Cincinnati to lose this game. It's a possibility. I do like Minnesota over the number 15 Wisconsin Badgers in college football. I think Penn State's got a shot over Michigan State too. Now we're going to go over to basketball. I like UCLA over Gonzaga. I like Iona over Alabama. And, of course, I like Duke over Gonzaga. Those are all this week, by the way.
Shout out to Rick Pitino. I own it, man. I like that.
I like
We
the
got
Packers. I
Daniel
like the Packers
upset
over the Rams.
Team players to be on the lookout for upsets for the course of the week and weekend. So make sure y'all tune in for that. And speaking of upsets, man, we talked about a little bit earlier, Mr. Mac Jones and the what I was going to say, the San Diego Patriots, but the New England Patriots, man, they're on the high street right now. They 7-4, sitting in what's that, third place in the AFC. So is Mac Jones for real, or is he just a product of the system? Hot dog, go ahead, floor is yours.
Hugh, I really appreciate letting me go first. This is something I've been arguing about with people for the last few weeks. I think it's pretty obvious that out of all the rookie quarterbacks, he got drafted to the best situation. He got drafted by one of the best coaches in the NFL. And let's not forget, the Patriots went out and spent some money in the offseason. They went out and brought in Nelson Aguilar. They went out and brought in John Smith, Hunter Henry. They got Damian Harris. They drafted the Stevenson guy, the rookie running back. He's played very well. They got a solid team around them. It's just I think it took Mac Jones a couple of weeks to figure out the NFL is a faster sport than, of course, of college football. So I hate to admit it, but I think Mac's actually pretty good. I just think it was a match made in heaven on the team he went to. He's not the most athletic guy, but the Patriots have never asked their quarterbacks to be athletic guys. Just stand in the pocket, make smart decisions. I think that's a pretty good. I think the Patriots once again struck gold on the quarterback for the next 10 to 15 years.
On this one, I'm gonna be real quick and brief, man. I think Matt Jones is a product of the system, to be quite honest, because we seen this with Matt Castle. He come in, win 11 games. There's a reason why Bill Belichick didn't move up in the draft to take any of these quarterbacks, because he did the whole Cam Newton and trying to fit an offense around the quarterback instead of getting a quarterback that fits his offense. So I think he went ahead and got Mac Jones because he knew it fits his offense, his system, and what he likes to do versus trying to get a guy and then mold the offense around him. So Mac Jones is good, don't get me wrong, but I think he is more so a product of the system. Ralph, your thoughts, man?
I'm gonna keep it short and brief also. I do think he is a product of the system, but I do think that also Mac Jones was the most NFL-ready quarterback coming out of this draft. I feel like a lot of the other quarterbacks, like a Zach Wilson, like a Trey Lance, maybe even Justin Fields, they had a lot of hype around them. But I feel like overall the most ready to play in the NFL from day one was Mac Jones. And like Hot Dog said, it was kind of like a match made in heaven when he was able to get with Belichick as a coach. The offensive coordinator, I can't think of his name right now. We had him as a coach for a while. McDaniels, I think. And like you said, the Patriots don't ask for the quarterback to be athletic. The Patriots don't ask for the quarterback to do too much. They just ask for him to make the throws that need to be made. And Mac Jones is finding a way to make those throws. And you have to highlight the Patriots defense, man. The Patriots defense is playing very well right now. They shut out the team yesterday. So I do think he's a product of the system, but I do think he was also the most NFL-ready quarterback coming out of this draft.
B-Legend, your thoughts, man? Is he a product of the system or is he for real?
Well, I know you Brady sexuals.
What the hell?
Such strong words. Such strong words.
I've never heard of that before. That's what's so funny. I've never heard of that before. I love it.
Guys like you and I, think that this guy, because he's the GOAT.
Call him out.
Dude, it's a system, man. I mean, it's been that way, man. You took this guy Brady and you put him in. He did good. You took Castle, you put him in. He did good. I mean, Belichick just knows what the hell he's doing. I mean, you got to give that man props, but nobody wants to give Belichick props because he's a jerk. He's a butthole. But, the guy could coach the game of football. Absolutely. And he takes what he has. He drafts certain types of players. He doesn't have an emotional attachment to these players. He knows when to get rid of players. I think about all those guys that he cut. People are like, oh my God, Bill
absolutely
got cut. No, Bill Belichick knew what the hell he was doing. He cut them players and went on and got something else. He uses what he has, and he maximizes that. And it's proven. Because I don't care what you say. Mac Jones, great quarterback. I don't have anything negative to say about him. But, dude, Mac Jones is not a, over the top, just this great, this great quarterback. He is a system quarterback, and he just fits very well in that system. Take him and put him on one of them other things. Is he going to do as well? We don't know.
You don't know?
I would say go ahead, Hot Dog.
I think Trey Lance coming out of the draft was the most ready quarterback coming out of the draft. That's me personally. I can see where Ralph would say Mac. I think Mac Jones was number 2, but I really like Trey Lance. I think when they finally get him in there in the 49ers, they're gonna really take off.
Did you see him when
way
he
higher
played?
than Jimmy G.
Thank you, Daniel.
Well, it was hard to watch.
But again,
he has a big arm.
Well, when they finally get him in there and ready, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine.
But again, I think even with him, I think it's a system thing. I mean, like for example, I don't think, and I know it sounds crazy, But I don't think a quarterback like Cam, I don't think a quarterback like Trey Lance, I don't think Jalen Hurts, I don't think those guys fit Bill Belichick's system. That's not what he's looking for. He wants a guy that's going to sit in that pocket, that can make quick reads, get the ball out of his hands,
and be accurate.
Yeah, he ain't throwing bombs. He ain't doing nothing. He just throwing slants, short routes, this and that, Julian Edelman type things.
Absolutely,
that's what he does. And Mac Jones fits that profile.
Absolutely.
But it's the system, man. That's all. The system has never changed. They're gonna run your ball a little bit, get you off bases, then they're gonna throw the ball. Defensively, they're gonna get you in, second and third and longs, play back, let their guys pin their heads and go at the quarterback. But then they're gonna play. But then they're gonna play. They're gonna play all that other stuff and play DBs back. Why? Because they got you in third and longs. It's been that way the whole time. Nothing has changed with them. So that's just my opinion.
D, what's your thoughts, man? Is Mac Jones for real, or is he more of a product of the system?
I think it's a little bit of 50-50. Over the weekend, I heard a little bit of inside intel. I didn't hear it with my own ears from the source, but a person I know that has some connects said that when he first went to Alabama, of course, Saban and Belichick are friends. So he kind of molded him for the Patriots. Of course, he was trying to win games in Alabama, but he kind of molded them for the Patriots. Bill Belichick said the year before, if he's there, he was taking him. So he had already planned to take him anyway. So, I mean, like you said, Bill Belichick doesn't ask you to go out there and do what Aaron Rodgers does and make up for all the holes and deficiencies. If you're accurate from 15 yards and less and you can make quick reads, that's all he needs, because he's going to run the ball 25 to 30 times. He's always going to make sure his defense is good. Even if his defense starts off bad for about 6 weeks, the last 9 to 10 weeks, they usually, end up being a top 10 defense. So I think it's 50-50. I think Mac Jones will be good. I don't ever think he'll be MVP caliber, but I do think he'll be a top 12 quarterback at some point.
So do we see, and this is just a quick question, y'all don't have to go in depth. Do y'all see Mac Jones being like having a Kirk Cousins type of career where he's that type of quarterback?
That's who I was thinking.
Better than Kirk Cousins, though. Not all the
interceptions. Trash.
Yeah, not all the interceptions.
Man, look,
trash.
I need somebody to explain this to me. Because honestly, people talk about people hating on Lamar and whoever else is hating on Dak. How is somebody trash that consistently throws for 30-plus touchdowns? I don't get it.
I know, it's crazy. I know.
I do understand his primetime game record. But all I'm saying is, from an ability standpoint, he ain't clutch. He's not clutch at all. But from an ability standpoint, you can't always throw 30-plus touchdowns and be trash. That don't even make sense.
Had a good season
you know what, D?
He's on pace for 40 touchdowns this year.
He's had a good season this year.
Hey, you know what, D? As crazy as it sounds, everything you're saying is correct, because I picked him for my fantasy team because I knew what he was going to do.
If I played him versus you in the BCG fantasy league, I probably would beat you. But I went with trash ass Russell Wilson.
But here's the thing. I agree with you, Daniel. I just think that at the end of the day, with Kirk Cousins, now he did do well in yesterday's game and some of the other games as well. But historically, he just has a terrible track record in the money games. And I think that's why he gets the label that he gets. I mean, and that's why I can never compare. I wouldn't say Mac Jones to Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
I truly think that Kirk Cousins he's a good quarterback. He just don't show up, in the big game.
He thinks too much to me.
He's never going to take you over the top.
You know what?
I was making a comparison, Chuck. I was just talking like Daniel was talking about just ability, not the clutch and all of that, but just the ability.
Teddy Bridgewater.
No, he's better.
I ain't going that low.
He's better.
Ryan Tannehill.
Alex Smith.
Okay.
Alex Smith. No, I wouldn't even give him Alex.
A guy who could just make a guy that could basically just control the game,
Alex
right?
Smith,
Alex
Smith.
Right?
He ain't gonna win you the game, but
he's just gonna control the game. He's gonna manage the game.
Right.
Okay.
You can say Tom Brady without the rings, because all Tom Brady is a game manager, but he has Super Bowl rings, so that puts him over the top. So maybe it's
because we clutch over here. We clutch City over here.
But
anyway,
you've had him for 2
not
years.
losing,
It's not we.
Saquon coming back. Y'all been not losing.
They've had him for 2 years, legend. Now
We
it's
clutch
we.
city over here. We clutch
Like,
city
come
over here,
on,
baby.
bro.
Ralph, don't do that. Don't
Come on, man. We.
If the Bucks win this year, it'll be impressive for
It
sure.
is.
We clutch
It was
city.
impressive last year.
I'm
Man.
going on the
Everybody
record right now.
They were
D,
stacked last
they're
year.
not
This year
winning.
they got defensive injuries. So if Tom
They're
can
not
pull it
winning.
off this year, I got
I
to tip my
heard
hat.
Hey, D,
the Bucks ain't winning it this year.
Hey, D, when they lose tonight, all hell gonna break loose.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a party over
Oh.
there.
I mean,
If the
we
Giants
gonna
is
be a
in the
party.
game in the third quarter, they'll lose. The Bucks will lose, but I just don't. I mean, I don't care. I got an 18-point spread. I got a lot of leniency. As long as they stay within 18, I don't care.
Would you take the Giants in that game?
It ain't 18. I thought it was 11. It's 11.
I teased it. I
I
teased
thought it
it
was
to
11.
18. It is.
He
It was
teased
11
it,
and a
man.
half. I caught it at 11. I teased it to 18.
That's smart.
hey.
Smart.
So
That's good
anyways, man, hot dog, tell us what's on your mind, man. Just let us know what you've been ranting about, what you raving about.
Man, them sorry Cowboys of mine, absolute garbage yesterday. There's no reason we should not have beat the Chiefs and went off on that 26th ranked defense. There's just no way Dak should have went in there, threw for over 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Hey, he should have maybe ran in one, but he didn't. What did he do? He underthrew everybody. Receivers were dropping passes. He looked like Ben DiNucci out there. That's exactly what Dak Prescott looked like. It looked like Ben DiNucci in a third preseason game. That's all I have to say about the Cowboys. That's all I have to say today. Terrible. Terrible.
Q, you're muted.
My bad, my fault. Before we get out of here, last two topics. Ralph, let us know what are some key Week 11 NFL matchups real quick.
Oh, thank God we can stop beating up on Dak. Lord, my man had one bad game. But we got a few Thanksgiving Day games. We got the Raiders and the Cowboys, and of course the Bills and the Saints.
Let's go Raiders.
No, not happening. Cowboys.
Hey, shut up, Lloyd. You know he's talking to you. Wait a minute. Man, your Bears lost to a backup quarterback yesterday in Baltimore. I don't want to hear nothing about you, legend.
And definitely the Bills over the Saints. I'm like Daniel. I think this Bucks and Colts game is going to be very interesting. God, I want to go out on a limb and say the Colts are going to win that game. You know what? That might be my upset. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Colts over the Bucks. I think the Bucks will win tonight, but I think they'll lose next week. You got the Rams and the Packers playing. That's going to be a tough game. I think Aaron Rodgers will find a way to win that game. I like the Titans in the Patriots game also. I'm definitely going with the Patriots in that game, but the Titans are a tough team, so this will see what the Patriots are made of to pull out this win. So the Patriots over the Titans. I think that'll be maybe the Vikings and the 49ers, two contending teams. I do think the Vikings will win that game, but those will be my matchups for the week.
The only reason why I didn't say Titans over Patriots is because I don't know if Julio Jones will play, and A.J. Brown got hurt in yesterday's game and didn't return, so I don't know his injury status.
The Patriots are going to shut them down, man.
And then we got
I don't think they'll shut both.
We got
Go ahead, my
Thanksgiving
bad.
Day games like Ralph just alluded to, and then we got also Monday night football games. So let's start off with the Thanksgiving Day games and predictions of who the fellas got. Bears versus Lions around the horn. Hot dog, who you got? Bears, Lions, Thanksgiving Day.
Lions won the first game of the year in Detroit. Happy Turkey Day, Detroit fans.
Ralph, who you got in that game?
The Bears.
Bears. Be legend. Bears, Lions. Yo, Chicago Bears versus Detroit Lions. Who you got?
Here's Chicago Bears.
There you go. Yeah, here's Chicago Bears.
Is my mic unmuted?
Yes, no. It's unmuted now. You can talk.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Why Ralph keep making that face? The Lions can't win a game, Ralph. Nah, damn. Daniel, who you got?
I am going.
Man, they're so close, dude. They're so close.
If Jared Goff plays, I'm going with the Lions. They average the same amount of points.
That should mean they should lose.
The Lions average. I mean, they give up about 2 more points per game than the Bears. But when they play uphill battles, they usually play better defense. I'm going with my guy Jared Goff's first win of the season. He got a tie already. It's time for a win.
Nope, Jared Goff is not playing this game because the Detroit Lions are playing for the #1 pick. So they are going. The owners are going
Absolutely.
to message them to
Absolutely.
Jared Goff to make sure they don't have any chance of possibly winning this game. So let me get the Bears in this matchup. We
Thank you
got the
so
Raiders
much.
and the Cowboys. Daniel, who you got?
I do not believe in the Raiders at all. Cowboys.
Cowboys. Ralph, who you got? Why she picked the Cowboys? I know it's
You damn right. Dak is bouncing back. The Cowboys.
This guy. B Legend, Raiders and Cowboys. Who you got?
The Raiders.
The Raiders won't run the ball, so for me, that's a no-go.
Hot dog, Raiders, Cowboys. Who you got?
Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs win this game, Cowboys.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go with the Cowboys as well on this one. And the Thursday night matchup, you got the Bills and the Saints. I got the Bills in this matchup. Hot dog, who you got?
I'm going with the Saints because they're doing something with Drew Brees at halftime. So I think they'll play up and all that hoorah stuff, and the Saints get the job done.
Hey, man, still the thing is Drew Brees ain't walking on that field to help them out. So, Ralph,
Hey, you never know.
You might.
To the point you just made, unless Drew Brees is suiting up for the Saints, I'm going with the Bills.
Bills. Daniel, who you got in this matchup?
You know what? I normally will always pick the Saints at home. That defense plays good at home. But after watching Daniel Jones beat them at home, I guess the luck's gone. I guess it was just when Drew Brees was still playing. So I got to go with Buffalo. Hopefully they try to run the ball more. Honestly, they probably shouldn't, considering the Saints have the #1 run defense, even though they got shredded by the Eagles yesterday. So, but I'm going with them. I'm going with them by 3 to 7 points.
37 points. Okay.
Yeah.
Big Legend, who you got in this nighttime matchup between the Bills and the Saints?
I mean, I think it'll be a close game. I mean, like Daniel said, I think that historically the Saints, they played great at home, and they got a great run defense. They got to try to control Josh Allen, on those quarterback runs and things like that. That'll be the only way they could give him a chance to win that game. The Bills don't run the ball really effectively either. Zach Moss, Singletary, they don't run the ball. They don't run the ball well. I mean, I know that because I have,
They don't have a running back.
He on my fantasy team. I think he got me point 50. Like, didn't even give me 1 point. It was 0.50. Like, I mean, what did he do?
There was like a 5-game stretch where they ran the ball and they just stopped.
I mean, listen, all you got to get is 10 yards and you get a point. He got you 0.50.
He got you 0.50.
I mean, I'm thinking to myself, they're going to throw the football, open up the run, open up lanes. We get to
Nope.
0.50. So,
Wow, that sucks. Man.
So with that being the case, I mean,
that's horrible.
That's kind of good and bad, right? Because if New Orleans knows they're not going to throw the ball, now we can go cover 2, try to control a little bit. So I think it'll be an interesting game. I really do think that they're going to keep it close, but I think Buffalo wins the game.
And then we got the Monday night matchup tonight. We have the New York Giants versus the Tampa Bay Bucks. This game, I'm going to be quite honest, it kind of scares me a little bit. We always struggle against the Giants. We lost against Trevor Siemian, so it's not like we can't lose to Daniel Jones back there. You see what I'm saying? So it's not
Y'all
like
lost to Tyler Heineke.
So that too. So it's not like it's out of the realm of possibility for us to lose to the Giants. But because I got to do this. We got to snap this loser streak. Right? We got to snap this loser streak tonight. So let me go. And yes, I am picking with my damn heart. Let me get the Bucks in this matchup. Hot dog, who you got, man?
I'm going with the Giants on the road with an upset.
I'm saying,
going with the Giants on the road.
Ralph.
Damn, I want to pick the Giants, but I just don't see the Bucks. The Bucks losing 3 straight, man. So I'm going with the Bucks, man.
Well, hopefully, Gronk helps us out tonight, man. Even though the thing is, like Daniel just pointed out earlier in the show, Saquon will be back tonight. Vita Vea is out for us, which is a big run stuff for us. So the run defense ain't going to be as effective for us tonight. So it's
Saquon's back?
Yeah, Daniel, who you got?
I got the Bucks 27-17.
I tell you what though, if we lose tonight, I'm getting out of the group chat and I'm getting out of the Beyond the Game group page.
Yeah, you better. You better.
As a matter of fact, I'm turning the show over to you guys. Y'all do whatever the hell y'all want to do with it because I'm done. But be legend, who you got?
Tampa's at home, man, and they've lost 3 straight. Was it 2 straight? 3 straight. 2 straight. Right?
2 straight.
Yeah, 2 straight.
And it's just, and it's so hard, for me to think that they're gonna lose at home like that. But Saquon's back. I'm gonna go 2017 Giants.
2017
My guy legend.
2017.
I like it.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm nervous tonight. I ain't gonna lie. I'm nervous.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that because if they can make Brady, a little restless, put some pressure on. I mean, they got good players, man. So it'll be interesting.
I know.
Danny Dimes will come to play tonight, baby.
Watch Danny Dimes throw for 310 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He's gonna run for 100.
Watch Saquon go for $110 and 1 touchdown. Watch.
I can't see the Saquon, but I can see Danny Dimes throwing for 300. Y'all secondary is awful.
Trash.
And they got some good receivers, sneaky good receivers.
Well, Kenny Galladay's supposed to play today, so.
And Darius Slayton's back, and I think Evan Ingram's healthy. So,
Darius
like you said, Saquon's back. So, yeah,
I'm going to go 27-20. I'm going to give the Giants 20 points.
So you say 27-20?
What's up?
Then,
What's up, bro?
Yeah.
So, Ike, has put out here, he want to bet a bottle. I don't know what he want to bet a bottle
Because
on.
I said that the Bucks is going to lose 3 straight.
Oh, I ain't betting a bottle on that.
I'll
bet a bottle. I bet a bottle if they don't win the.
I got a question for you guys, though. Q, do we got any quick hitters today?
No, go ahead. You got it.
I was just wondering, is North Carolina going to pick up a win in their next game? Or are they just going to keep
They
on
lost 2 in a row. They lost 2 in a row, ain't they?
They're going to stay on their losing streak. Just a quick hitter. Just a quick yes or no.
Well, I know when we play. I know.
I'm just saying. I thought we could talk about it, man. You can bring it to the table.
These mofos win 2 games. Out of all these games, they won't talk. They won 2 games because they play Morehead State, Bryan Station, and Tate State.
So you can't answer the question. You want to talk
I do have a question. What does everybody think about Purdue? They've won like 3 straight over like top 8 teams.
Tough, man.
They're number 3 in the country. Purdue, this Matt Painter-led team looks nice.
They're tough.
Over in West State, Indiana. They look nice.
Yeah, man.
Couldn't do nothing with them. We cut actually in the Purdue game. We actually led with like 2 minutes left in the ball game, and then
What happened in the Tennessee game?
we just I don't know.
Shout out to the SEC.
I'm going to go back to what I've been saying for about 6 months. Your coach's name is Hubert.
Thank you.
You can't expect
I have a question. Wait, D. I got a question for Daniel. Who is the coach you're waiting for Coach K? Is it John Shire?
Yeah.
It's looking like John Shire.
Yeah.
Have they not announced
Cable's
that yet?
gone. It's been rumored. That's all I can go.
It is what it is. It's in place.
That's still very suspect to me that Capel left like that.
Look, Doug Collins did pretty good at Northwestern a few years back, and then he just fell apart. He started to look dated. Woj, horrible at Marquette.
Yeah.
It was said to be Capel, and he took that Pittsburgh job, so there's nobody left. You know what I mean?
Something else we talked about a couple of weeks ago that just came up last week. We talked about your favorite coach, Ralph.
Yes, sir. Coach Cal?
No.
Okay.
Stoops and LSU.
That's not my coach, but I understand.
Stoops is gone. Stoops is gone.
I keep telling y'all I'm a Buckeyes fan.
now,
Y'all can keep putting UK on me if y'all want to, but it doesn't change anything.
Well,
Ralph's gonna be real sad Sunday after Michigan puts it on.
I'm not losing to no damn Michigan. That's
It's happening this year.
Who's your college team, Ralph?
It's been Ohio State. Man, ain't nothing
He
changed.
likes Ohio State.
Y'all just act like y'all forget.
All right, so we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and even we're posting about having conversation with a couple of people, and it's been a big topic talking about why would Stoops leave Kentucky, and my thing is why wouldn't he leave Kentucky?
Why wouldn't he? Yeah.
I mean, there's absolutely, positively nothing else for him to
The
prove.
only reason why I would say why he wouldn't leave Kentucky is because the expectations are low here. The expectations would be way higher in LSU. They won a national championship. Six to 8 wins at UK, you're fine. You'll be here for a lifetime. If you can
forever,
and keep bringing in good recruits, you'll be here forever. So I just think it's the expectations.
I guess my question is, as a coach, I mean, wouldn't you want to, try to set goals and objectives?
Absolutely.
I mean,
challenge yourself
because because in my opinion, in my humble opinion, he is taking UK as far as they ever going to go. Because
absolutely.
Because and I don't mean no disrespect by this, but I'm just saying, and I said this in one of my posts, UK would never win the SEC championship.
They'll never win the SEC East.
Yeah, you got Oklahoma and you got Texas coming in here. One of those two are going to come over to the East. So therefore, you really think that you have the ability to beat a Georgia, to beat a Florida, to beat a Oklahoma or a Texas, a Tennessee, and I keep going down the line to get to face them animals like Alabama or whoever else is going to be sitting out there. I don't care what he does. UK will never get to that point.
UK better hope it's Texas because
is that he's led UK probably as far as UK will probably ever go since Bear Bryant.
Exactly.
So why not take another chance? Because you've hit your ceiling with UK.
So my question to you guys is, if you are Mr. Stoops, do you remain at UK? Or if that LSU job comes up, do you take it and go?
What about the Florida job, B Legend? What about he's very familiar with the Florida area? What about Florida?
Okay, Florida. If that comes
because
up,
I think he would be a better fit in Florida because he's already familiar with the Florida area, being the Florida State defensive coordinator when they won.
I get that. So if either one of those two jobs comes up, does he take them? Does he take one of those, or does he stay at UK?
As much as I would take dislike a team like a Florida, and football, you got to go to the swamp. You got to go. You have to go. Over LSU, I would choose Florida.
Over LSU. Yeah.
If I had the options, I would probably take the Florida job because of the in-state recruiting. Not to say that New Orleans doesn't have a lot of top-flight athletes, but with Florida, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. With Florida, Texas, and California, as far as recruiting goes. And you're right there. They're in your backyard, so it's a lot easier to recruit them. So
the Stoops coach at Florida State?
Defensive coordinator.
That's my point. He's familiar with the state. He's familiar with, recruiting down there. So I think it would be a great fit for him to go to Florida. If it's an option, he has to leave UK to go to Florida.
So everyone agrees that if those options present themselves, that he should leave UK.
Absolutely.
He should take Florida over LSU because Florida lands quarterbacks over LSU.
Yeah.
The athletes, defensive end, everything else like that is pretty much equal playing field.
Secondary,
but Florida gets quarterbacks.
LSU
don't.
Florida gets some dogs at the secondary too.
But will he? No. Should he? Yes. But will he? He probably won't. He'll probably stay here just because of what Ralph said. Low expectations.
Absolutely.
You can win 8 games here and live like a king for the rest of your life.
It looks like they feed them 5 meals a day.
I got one more question for Daniel.
Go ahead.
I got one more question for Daniel. Going back to the Duke topic of the coach thing. So there is one guy that coaches the NBA team. He's done very well. His name's Quinn Snyder. Does Duke take a look at him, try to prop him away?
Ooh.
I don't see him
leaving the Jazz.
I like him.
There's no reason for him to leave the
Honestly, with him being a Jazz coach,
no reason.
No, for me, with him being the Jazz coach, I couldn't see why you couldn't pry him away from the Jazz. If he was coaching the Lakers, the Knicks, somebody like that, or if he had LeBron, whether it wasn't the Lakers, I don't see him leaving. But the Jazz, who cares? Leave the Jazz.
I get you saying that, but he's had a lot of success with the Jazz.
No, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, Ralph, he has. But it's like the Stoops thing. How much better do you think he's going to make the Jazz? He's got him as far as they can go. He's done a great job. He is probably the second greatest Jazz coach of all time behind Jerry Sloan, of course. I mean, but man, Duke come calling, and Duke can pay him a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, we pay Coach
And you
K
get a chance to
$11
take
million.
Coach K. You get a chance to take Coach K's spot. If I was Quinn Snyder, I'd really consider. If the chance came to me, I'd really consider if I were Quinn Snyder.
I never even thought about that, hot dog, the whole Clint Snyder aspect, and I'm pretty sure Duke can probably match whatever Utah's paying him right now.
Yeah.
So the money's probably
Absolutely. That's what I was saying, man. No,
That's tough, man.
Let me ask you guys one other question, because of a couple of rumblings that I'm hearing, about
His salary is only $2 million, so
Yeah, that's not much of anything for real.
About back to college football, about FSU. Does Deion stay in Jackson State, or does he take FSU?
I think we're 2 years away.
As much as
the reason why I'm
me,
saying that, he pried all those kids away from D1 schools and whatever else. He's going to let them graduate, and I think he'll be gone.
And I
think he'll be
Daniel,
gone
because Deion's about relationships, and like Daniel said, he did pry those kids away from the D1 schools and said, "Come here, I'm gonna take care of you, and we're gonna make something great happen here at Jackson State." So I actually want to see him stay at Jackson State, but you can't pass up a Florida State job, man. He can't. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I think it's bigger than that. I think he's trying to uplift the whole HBCU thing.
Yeah, that too.
I think he feels like it's got to a level to where it's okay, because you have the Titans running back who's a coach in Tennessee now, Eddie George. You got him now coaching the ACC. So I feel like once he feels like the HBCU is getting its just due, then he'll probably take the Florida State job and do what he got to do.
Because the TCU job is open too, and they're trying to get him at TCU. So I mean,
if he gets to Florida State, they'll be back.
I mean,
everybody's going to want to play.
Man, absolutely.
I believe he would take that job, bring in Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
And
Ward
Dunn, yeah.
I believe he'd bring all the dudes in.
If he was to do something like that, if I'm a recruit, how do you say no to that? Like, how do you say no? You got Deion.
Want to play for Deion.
You got Warren Sapp calling you. You got Derek Brooks texting you. Like, how do you say no?
Always remember one key component is when you are recruited by these coaches and you leave, you can leave. You can get out of that.
Yeah.
Out of that scholarship and go with them to that other school.
Yep, absolutely.
That's true. Yeah.
So I'm just saying,
he's taking the son with him. Of course, he's taking the son.
Oh yeah.
Quarterback.
I just, it'd be interesting to see, but I'll be interested to see if they come down and give him that.
I might give my cousin out there. He live in Florida now.
Y'all need some change down there in Florida State.
Huh?
You said 2 years. You see Deion there in 2 years.
I see him leaving in 2 years. He's got to see those guys.
Somebody might swoop him up before.
Hey, I just want to point out, D, that my Louisville Cardinals spanked both Florida State and Duke in football this year. Spanked both of them.
Nobody talks about Duke football, man.
I mean, at the end of the day, we got the same record, so it didn't really do you no good.
Hey, we going bowling. Nah, we going bowling. Florida State, I don't think he's got 6 wins yet.
Bro, that's I tell you, there's a lot of things about college football that annoys me. But these 6-win teams, when they're talking about we going bowling, that's just like,
you know
what? I agree. Ralph, as bad as Louisville is, and they are terrible, I'm going to celebrate it.
Hey, Ralph, that's the participation award.
I know, man. I don't get it.
College football, you did a good job this year. Good job.
We're going to put you in the Chick-fil-A bowl.
We're going to out of here. We appreciate everybody who tuned in to another great show. Make sure you always like, share, and comment. Also, you can always go back and watch the show on Fire Stick or the YouTube channel. And as always, before we get out of here, we want you to treat somebody how you want somebody to treat your mama. And we up at this thing, y'all. Peace.
Bobby here.
We out of here.